Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Workday Physique. I'm your host as usual, Ajitesh. Before we get into today's episode, if you're someone who has been struggling with their weight for a while now, if you're not able to reach your weight loss goals by yourself, and you wish there was someone to guide you, support you through the process, and to hold you accountable for your actions, then you should consider applying for one-on-one coaching. You can go to workdayphysique.com and book a free strategy call with me, and I'll see if I can help you out. Now back to the episode. Today's topic of discussion is how to lose weight fast. And if you're someone who has attempted to lose weight in the past, or if you're just in the process of trying to lose weight, you must have gone on Google sometime or the other and typed in this exact phrase, how to lose weight fast. And I understand, 21st century, it's all about speed. We want to get things done instantaneously. 10-minute food delivery, overnight package delivery from Amazon. And we hope that we'll be able to achieve our weight loss results in a similar speed, in a similar fashion. But our bodies are just biological machines. And even with advancement in technology, there is only so much you can do to speed up the process. But I will try to list out the things that you can do to make weight loss happen in the most optimal speed possible for your specific situation. So, how to lose weight fast? There is always a sweet spot between weight loss being too fast and weight loss being too slow. There is something as trying to lose weight too slow, okay? And a lot of it depends on your current body fat levels. If you're someone who has a lot of body fat, usually you'll be able to lose weight pretty fast compared to someone who has very little body fat. So someone who is very lean, who has visible abdominal definition, so someone who has a six-pack, someone who is already in pretty good shape, but they want to lean down even further, they will have a very difficult time leaning out. But if you're someone who is already at a very high BMI, you already have a lot of body fat, you can usually go about losing that initial weight quite fast. All right. But how fast is safe? How fast is optimal? Let's talk about it a little bit. So what is an optimal rate of weight loss? The answer to this question depends entirely on what your current situation is. Are you someone who is 20 to 30 kgs over their healthy BMI range? Or you're someone who is just slightly overweight? That is, maybe you just have 5 to 10 kgs to lose. So it completely depends upon that. The way I like to look at it is I'll provide you this analogy. If you're someone who has a lot of money, okay, say you're Elon Musk, now you don't have to think twice before spending on something. You don't have to think twice before buying a luxury vehicle because you just have so much of money. It doesn't really affect you in any way if you're trying to lose a lot. Wait, I'm just confusing money and weight now. If you're trying to spend a lot of it on something luxurious, you will not have to think twice about it. So think about body fat in terms of in a similar way. If you have a lot of body fat, you usually don't have to think too much before losing it. Okay, so the more body fat you have, the faster you can lose. But if you're someone who has very little body fat, so you're already very lean, you probably have a six-pack and you already look pretty athletic, then you have to be quite careful while trying to lose weight. Okay, so if someone does not have a steady income, they don't have a lot of money, they have to be very careful with their budget. So think of it in a similar way. So if you're someone who is 20 to 30 kgs over their healthy BMI range, maybe it's even more than that, then a good pace to lose weight would be about 1.5% of your current body weight per week. So if you're, say, 90 kgs in weight, you would want to aim for around 1.2, 1.3 kgs of weight loss every single week. That would be a good amount of weight to attempt to lose. But on the other hand, if you just have, say, 5 to 10 kgs of weight to lose, you're just slightly overweight, then a good pace for you would be around 1% of your body weight. So if you're 70 kgs in weight, but you would like to be in the maybe higher 50s or maybe in the lower 60s. So that's not a lot of weight to lose. So you would aim for losing around 0.7 kgs, 0.6 kgs per week. That would be a good pace for you to lose weight. And if you're someone who is very lean, then you would aim to lose only about, say, 0.5% of your body weight per week. But for most of you listening right now, I'm pretty sure you don't fall into that category. So if you are very, very overweight at the moment, you should aim for 1.5% of your body weight. And if you're just slightly overweight, it's completely okay to aim for 1% of your body weight per week. So if you're 70 kgs, you would aim to lose around 0.7 kgs per week. So that is pretty reasonable. That is actually a very good rate of weight loss. All right. You can attempt to lose faster than that, but remember the analogy. If you don't have a lot of money, if you don't have a lot of body fat, if you spend too much, you'll just go broke. So if you try to lose too much body fat when you don't have much, you'll also lose muscle mass. You'd also end up burning through muscle, which you don't want to in a weight loss phase. You want to preserve that muscle mass. You want to only use up the fat reserves. So keep that in mind. For most people, 1% of their body weight per week is an optimal rate. All right. Now that you know when you should try to attempt to lose weight fast, that is if you are very overweight and you have a lot of weight to lose, how do you go about losing weight fast? What is the process? There is no magical different technique that you would use to lose weight fast compared to if you're trying to lose weight slow. The basic fundamentals still remain the same. If you're trying to lose weight, the main determinants that will affect the process are your calorie balance, your energy balance. Are you eating less calories than what you're burning? That is the main determinant. So you can fix this by working on either side of the equation. So you can increase the amount of calories that you burn by increasing your activity levels throughout the day. That is, don't stay sedentary, increase your step count. And if you try to work on the other side of the equation, that you reduce the amount of calories you put into your body, that you can do by reducing your calorie intake from food. Okay, so start eating more low calorie, high volume foods like more vegetables, more high fiber foods, increase your protein intake and decrease your consumption of calorie dense foods like processed foods, foods cooked in a lot of oil, foods which are deep fried, foods from outside, foods from restaurants. Once you can cut these things down to a bare minimum and you can increase your activity levels to something that you can sustain for a long period of time, that is all you need to do. And the next thing you'll need to do is to track your body weight, because without doing that, you will not know if you are losing weight at a good pace. All right. So firstly, focus on the process. That is calories in versus calories out, the energy balance equation. Then focus on the parameters that track your progress. That is, are you losing at a good pace? If your weight loss progress is too slow, that is, if you aim for losing 1% of your body weight per week, but you're kind of not there yet, you're maybe losing weight at a rate of 0.2%, 0.3%, what you would do is you would drop your calorie intake a little bit more, maybe by 100, 200 calories, and you would try to increase your activity levels by increasing your step count by, say, 2,000 steps. 3,000 steps. And if you're able to do that consistently and track your progress at the same time, you'll be able to make these finer adjustments over time to make sure that you're losing weight in the most optimal rate for your current situation. So what is optimal for you is not optimal for another person. So just remember that, all right? And keep that guideline in mind. If you're very overweight, over 20 to 30 kgs to lose, maybe more than that, 1.5% of your overall body weight is a good pace to lose per week. Otherwise, for most people, it is 1% of their body weight per week. If it is too slow, then it is lesser than that. All right. So keep that in mind. Now let's come to something extremely important. The essential things that you should take care of while attempting to lose weight fast. All right, because if you're trying to lose weight fast and you're not taking care of the most basic things, you will affect your health. All right. I understand that you want results and you want them fast, but in order to do that, you have to make some adjustments in other areas of your life. You have to make some compromises in other areas of your life, because results will only come when you're willing to put in the effort. So instead of being overly results focused, be process focused. So if you're putting in the work, if you're taking care of the different variables that we'll talk of right now, you will achieve your results. But on the other hand, if you're just overly results focused, but your process is not on point, you will not see results, or you will just see the wrong kinds of results. For example, if you're trying to lose weight, you'll just end up not losing fat mass, not losing enough fat mass, but you'll burn through your muscle mass. So you don't want to do that, all right? A few things that you need to take into consideration. Number one, keep your protein intake high. When you're trying to lose weight, your body is using up the reserves that it has stored for energy. And in order to make sure that you're preserving muscle and you're only using up your fat resources, you'd want to keep your protein intake pretty high for all your meals. All right, a good amount of protein to consume for most people would be around 0.7 to 0.8 grams per pound of body weight, or around 1.7 grams of protein per kg of body weight. So that would be a good amount of protein to consume for most people throughout the day. All right, so try to do that. I have an episode on protein intake as well. If you would like to know more about protein intake, you can go look that up. It is episode number 4. The next thing that you want to take care of is regular strength training, that is lifting weights 2 to 3 times a week for all your major muscle groups. So make sure you're doing exercises for all your muscle groups 2 to 3 times a week, where you're pushing your limits, challenging yourself, getting stronger week to week. Your body has a reason to hold on to that muscle mass only when you're challenging it. All right. Otherwise, when you're trying to lose weight, your body is going to use up the muscle reserves as well as the fat reserves to achieve weight loss. But that is not what we're trying to do. We are trying to achieve weight loss by eliminating the fat reserves while maintaining muscle mass. So in order for that to happen, you have to challenge your muscles on a regular basis, get stronger, in order for your body to have a reason to keep those muscles. So make sure you have a gym membership, or you have some kind of resistance band equipment in your house, and you're exercising regularly, getting stronger from day to day. And you have to understand that the quicker you try to lose weight, the more risk you are at of losing muscle mass. So there is always an optimal rate that we have already spoken about. If you try to lose weight faster than that, it is possible, but it's going to be harder to hold on to that muscle mass. So try to have a fine balance between that. Don't get too greedy when it comes to the speed. If you're seeing the weight drop too quick, it's not always a good thing. All right. So stick to those guidelines. 1% of your body weight per week is pretty good for most people. The third thing that you take care of is your stress management and your sleep. If you're someone who is already highly stressed out, if you're not getting enough sleep throughout the night, it is not a very good idea to attempt to lose weight very rapidly. Because putting your body in a calorie deficit state, that is when you're not consuming enough calories, which is the case when you're trying to lose weight, is a stressor for your body. And your body cannot differentiate between different kinds of stresses. So your work stress, your life stress, stress from your relationships, all of these things add up to your stress levels. And when you add something like weight loss to the mix, it just increases that stress. And you have a limited capacity to recover from the total stress that you're putting your body through. So if you are already highly stressed, a good approach would be to take a more moderate rate of weight loss, something that you can sustain long term. Otherwise, your recovery would be affected and you would feel very burnt out. And this is not something that you will be able to sustain for a long period of time. And the most important thing when it comes to weight loss is, are you able Are you able to adhere to the process? All right, long term. And if you'd like to know more about adherence and why it's so important, go listen to episode number 12 of the podcast. That's all about adherence and why that is something that you should prioritize over everything else, even over speed. All right. So take care of your stress, take care of your sleep, because sleep is crucial for recovery. Are you getting good quality, high quality sleep for at least 6 to 8 hours every single night? All right, this is very important because if you're not getting enough sleep, it's going to affect your mood, it's going to affect your appetite, it will make you crave for foods that you don't want to eat, and it will keep you cranky. So there are a lot of negative things that are happening in your body. There is research to show that people who don't get enough sleep during a weight loss phase, they tend to lose more muscle mass and less of fat mass. And this is something you want to completely avoid. So make sure you're getting enough high quality sleep every single night. So these are some basic things that you need to keep in mind. These are of utmost necessity. And if you're not able to ensure these things, I would recommend not trying to lose weight as fast as possible. All right. Now, towards the end of the episode, one thing that I would like to emphasize on is to make sure that you don't rebound from the process. A lot of people, they're able to lose weight successfully, but they gain it all back within the next couple of months. That happens because you don't think of weight loss from a very long perspective. Okay, you don't keep a long-term vision in your head. You want to get it done as fast as possible. And like I said, I understand that. I understand the need for speed, but you have to understand that this is not something that you want to keep only for the next 1 year. All right, the body that you achieve, you want to keep that for the next couple of decades, for the rest of your life. So in order for that to happen, you have to have a long-term vision and you have to work accordingly. So adherence is of utmost necessity. All right. Sustainability over speed. To make sure that you don't rebound whenever you feel like your stress levels are going too high, try to reduce the deficit that you have. Okay. That means try to increase your food intake, try to reduce your step counts to something more sustainable. So think of your weight loss efforts in terms of a dial. So when your stress levels are low, you have more time in hand, you can turn the dial up. All right. If the dial goes from 0 to 100, you can move the dial up to say 80, 90, where you are losing weight at a greater rate. You're able to sustain that. But as soon as stress levels come up, you can dial it back down where you're still cruising and kind of losing weight, but it is not at a very high rate, not at a rate which is causing you stress. So make sure to make those adjustments to your weight loss progress during the course of your journey, and you will be on track to reach your weight loss goals in the most optimal rate. That is it for this episode. I hope you found it to be helpful. And if you like the episode, please leave a rating on the podcast app that you're listening on right now. I would really like that. And do me a favor, share this episode with one friend who you think will benefit from the content. I'll see you again very soon. Until then, stay tuned, stay safe, and stay consistent.